Hi everybody, welcome to Retro Positive Review. This is our premiere episode, so thank you everybody who showed up to watch this one. Probably not many of you, but hey, I appreciate it. Today we're going to be doing our first game review actually. So it's going to be Abadox for the NES and the Famicom. This is a shoot 'em up game. It's released in December of '89 in the US and March of 1990 in Japan. As far as I can tell, it was only released on the NES and the Famicom. It was developed by Natsumi, and that's a Japanese development company, I believe. I'm not familiar with them. And it was distributed in the US by Milton Bradley. Okay. There's a few differences between the two games, not a whole lot. There's different case art for both of them. Obviously, most games have different case art from Japan and the U.S. The title screens are a bit different. Obviously, Milton Bradley wouldn't appear in Japan, just as Natsumi. The level 3 boss, I guess, they toned down the U.S. version a little bit, like. Graphically, there's these bones sticking out that I didn't even notice. I had to look closely at the comparison, and it's just a minor graphical thing. But the funny one is, apparently in the end scene, when you rescue the princess, she's nude in the Japanese version, and they clothed her in the U.S. version. I only played the U.S. version, but it's a zoomed out shot on an NES, so I can't imagine it's too too revealing. So basically the plot of the game is Abadox was a planet. It was swallowed by this giant spacefaring creature called Parasitus. You play as Second Lieutenant Nazzle. Apparently he's like the only fighter left that can try to rescue the princess that was swallowed in a medical ship, Princess Maria. So you're basically going after a princess. Pretty familiar storyline from an NES game. And you're the only guy that can save her. So, and this game takes place inside the creature. So you fly up to the creature, you go into its mouth, and then you start going through its digestive tract, and you end up finding the medical ship and whatnot. And it was lightly criticized for being similar to Life Force from Konami, which is a sequel to Gradius. But really, Life Force had a couple of levels like that, and it was only changed apparently to be inside of a creature for the entire game for the US release. The Japanese one, apparently it wasn't like that the whole game. This is just information I could find. I haven't actually played Life Force, so I couldn't tell you for sure. Maybe I'll check it out in a future review. If it's good. I have to play it and see if it's good first. Yeah, the game is pretty good. I haven't played many shooters. Like, I'm not a shooter guy, but I might be getting into them now. Like, that, it was pretty fun. It was hard though. Like, this game is difficult. If it didn't have unlimited continues, I think you guys would only be seeing gameplay footage from level 1 and maybe level 2. I found out later after I'd beaten the game that you can actually put in a code to load whatever level you want. But and have invulnerability and all that stuff. But I didn't know that. I played through the whole game. It took me a long time. Like, I think a total of like 9 hours of gameplay. Now, I'm not a shooter guy, and this is a hard one. Like, even other people online, when I've been reading about the game, they've been saying, like, yeah, this game is notoriously difficult. So I'm not the only one. But I did beat it. I beat it without using the invincibility code. So, I mean, my reflexes are decent from playing sports and stuff, so maybe that helped. I don't know. But it was not a walk in the park. It was a difficult game. But it was fun. Like, every time you died, you had that, like, oh, moment, but you never really got mad at the game. You're just like, wow, that's hard. Okay. let me try to figure out the pattern. And the pattern was more or less the same every time, but it changed slightly, which could really mess with you because it basically adjusts to where you are on the screen. If you're near the top or near the middle, it changes. And not just where the projectiles go, a couple other things change too. But overall, this was a really fun experience, and let's check out some gameplay footage here. All right. Okay, here we have the Japanese cover art. Looks pretty cool. So some kind of alien ship there. I think it's an alien ship. Got the Natsumi logo up in the corner. It's got the Abadox symbol with some blood and stuff dripping down. So some Japanese writing. I'm not sure what it says. Probably the Deadly Inner War. Here's the American one. Milton Bradley. It's got the Nintendo seal of quality in the bottom corner. It's more colorful. Same logo and everything. I like this one a bit better. And again, it's got the Deadly Inner War subtitle written there. Here we got the Abadox intro screen. Pretty cool with blood dripping down. I like the logo. Pretty cool sound effect. Here's the opening video. I'll just let you watch. Okay, here's level 1 of Abadox. Some pretty good graphics, as you can see. There's a little bit of flicker in that when there's too many sprites on screen, and there's a bit of slowdown when there's too much stuff speeding around at once, but it's pretty good. It looks pretty good. Oh, got my first power up here. This is probably the second best weapon in the game, at least in the side-scrolling one. I think they're all the same, but there's one weapon I couldn't get on the other mode. I like the sound effects and music, pretty good. You have to shoot these little ships to get the power-ups. Anyone who played Nintendo back in the day, they're used to flicker and stuff like that, so it doesn't really bother you that much. Some newer people who grew up in the newer generation, they might not be able to tolerate it as much, but it really doesn't bother you. These orbs right here are the best thing in the game. Like, as you can see, some of the things die right away when hitting them, and they stop bullets as well. This is the first mini-boss, like a little skeletal dog with it's like a parasite on his back with an eye on it and shooting stuff at you. And you can see here those orbs saved me a few times. This boss is pretty easy. I mean, this first level is not all that difficult. And you just figure out the pattern. It's pretty simple, but you can still die in this level. Let's see, I'll beat him here in a minute. I beat this boss my very first try, so he's pretty easy. A couple more here, maybe, and he'll be dead. But don't let this fool you. The rest of the game is not easy at all. It ramps up pretty good. And you'll probably die at least a few times in this first level. But here we go. This is leading up to the first boss. I skipped some of the rest of the level just to leave something for you to discover yourself. Those missiles there, by the way, they're a huge help. When you have them, the game is so much easier. Right, so I like this one. It's like a face coming out of the wall. Got the eyes shooting projectiles at you up with eye stalks there. Pretty cool. Again, pretty simple pattern. I think I died once here, or maybe twice, but it wasn't that hard. There you go. That is the first level. Alright, so that was level 1 of Abadox. It's not a hugely difficult level, but it gives you a bit of a challenge. It is not, like I said, it's not a hint of how the rest of the game is going to be. Like, this game gets a lot more difficult. I died several times on the first level, don't get me wrong, but nothing compared to the rest of the game. First level, you saw, was a side scroller. The second level it actually switches it up, so it goes from horizontal to vertical, horizontal, vertical, you know, back and forth each level. But the cool thing about this game is you're kind of like going down into the creature, so like into its esophagus, and then down its throat into its digestive system. So you're actually scrolling down on the screen instead of up. Like, I haven't played that many shooters, but I've never played one where it's vertically scrolling and you're going down. There's probably other ones, I don't know. I'm sure some of you guys have played one, possibly. This is the first time I ever played one that had that, so that's pretty cool. I liked it. And I like the music in this game. Like, it's pretty good. It suits the game. Keeps your energy going, because you're going to die a lot of times, so you need to be like, all right, I'm pumped up. Let's go. Let's do this again. And I don't know. I found the music actually kind of helped my concentration. So whoever did the music is really good. I didn't look that up. But yeah, I like that. And yeah, level 1, not too hard, but gets you into the game, lets you know that this isn't going to be a cakewalk. So let's go check out some gameplay footage for level 2. Alright, here we are in level 2. It's switched now from side-scrolling to top-down, and it's vertical. And you're scrolling down, which is cool. Those little red nodules on the side that shoot the red projectiles at you are a real pain. You gotta watch for them. Some parts, there's a lot of them. Alright. Some different bad guys. This weapon here, this is the best weapon in the game. It's the most powerful. It's like one-shot kill for pretty much everything except bosses. I was not able to find this weapon on the side-scrolling level. I don't know, side-scrolling levels, I don't know if it's available or not, but I love it, and the sound it makes. Like, I just love that sound. It's great. So this first part of the second level is not very hard. It still maintains roughly the difficulty. Oh, look, the arms reaching out. It's pretty cool. Roughly the difficulty of the first level. Here's the mini-boss of the second level. This is where... This part right here is the worst flicker and slowdown that I experienced in the game. I don't know. Just too much going on, I guess, for what the system could handle. Pretty cool boss, though. Pretty simple pattern. Just goes in a circle and shoots projectiles at you from 4 different directions. 2 big eyeballs on the end, with groups of 3 eyeballs in the middle. They really like eyeballs and mouths in this game. A lot of the bosses are eyeballs or mouths or combinations of the two. This boss will die pretty quick. I got the missiles, I got the orbs blocking some of the shots, and I got the most powerful weapons, so it won't take long. I think I died once or twice in this boss before I was finally able to beat him. This video is from my second run through, when I finally decided this is a good game and I was going to record gameplay footage. So, I still had the good weapon. Oh, my orbs are turning blue, they're about to go away. When they turn blue, it means that they're dying out. Oh, there we go. Pretty easy, pretty cool boss though. Alright, I just wanted to stop it here after beating the first mini-boss in level 2. This next part is where the game starts to kick your ass. Like, it starts to get a lot harder from this point out. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that in there. Like, up until now, you're like, I got this game. It's not too bad. I'll use a few continues maybe or whatever. But after this, you're going to start to realize that you're in for a challenge. All right, let's check out some more footage. Okay, here's the second part of the second level. This is where I really started to die. This is for my second run through. I redid the first and second levels after I decided this is a game I wanted to record footage for and do a review for. And so you're gonna see, I've already beaten this level, and it still takes me a few tries. Like, you're gonna see, oh, there I died. See, Even with the best weapon and everything, I died. And knowing exactly what was coming. Here we go, down to the Pea Shooter again. This level is brutal with the Pea Shooter. Alright. Oh, the dead already. Now this is where you really notice. I left the pause sound in there because it's like. This is where you really notice where your position on the screen affects where the projectiles go and how some of the enemies are going to react. Oh, forgot about it again. Died again. This is just a whole bunch of me dying because I just wanted to show you. This is my second run through. Like I said, I'd already beaten the level. I'd already beaten the game by this point. So here I am back doing the gameplay footage for this level again, and I'm still getting wiped out, knowing exactly what I'm supposed to do. I died many, many more times the first run through, figuring out what I was supposed to do. Oh, there, I'm done. Okay, another one. So yeah, this will really emphasize for you just how difficult this game is. Maybe watching it, you won't get a sense of it as much, because sitting back, you'll be able to pick the pattern out faster. But you gotta react very quickly. In some cases, like you're not having very much room for your sprite to get by where they need to go. Okay. That arm killed me like 1,000 times. Well, not 1,000, but before I figured out how to get past it. Yeah. Some parts you have to stay at the back of the screen. Sometimes you have to zoom up to the front. Every once in a while, like with those little green orb guys, those guys right there, it's best to zoom in on them and shoot them before they can get a shot off, if that's possible in the part of the level you're on. Like there, it's not. If you try that, the hand's gonna get you. At least I wasn't able to do it. I found just going past it was easier. I mean, I've even died on this screen before, like the first little part. Alright, here we go. Get the bonus. And it's frustrating because this level, like, is like most of the game. You'll get incrementally further and then just die, and you'll be like, okay, so now I gotta remember that part too. So yeah, add a little bit to the pattern every time. Well, here we go. A little farther. There you go. Got the shield. Those little red nodules really annoy me. They're good challenge, but you really gotta be on your game. Here we go, here we go. This is almost at the boss now. You get this far and you're like, your palms are sweating. You're like, okay, here, my first time making it to the boss, and I was all like excited, boom, dead right away. Like he just launches a whole bunch of crap at you at once, and you're like, oh my god. Here I'm just going to show you that I actually did beat the boss on level 2. There you go. Alright, so that was level 2. You saw me die a number of times there. Like, and that was nowhere near how many times I actually died. I mean, I think the gameplay for this level was at least an hour. Probably like an hour and a half I played this level before I beat it. And that sounds like a lot for an NES game, and it is, but it was fun the whole time. But it's just hard. You gotta power through it. It's rewarding when you do beat it though. Like you have a little celebration, like yeah, you know. And then it's right into the next level, and you're getting punished again. So yeah, level 3 actually starts to change it up a little bit. The first 2 levels, they look a little similar. They change from side scrolling to vertical though, and your sprite changes, obviously. So it's nice. It doesn't feel repetitive. Level 3 changes it up a bit, makes the backgrounds a little bit more colorful. And how much can you really do? I mean, you're inside of a creature, so it's got to be biologically themed, and there's only so much you can do. But I feel they did a good job at making the levels seem different from each other, and you'll see that here in the gameplay footage. So let's check out some footage from level 3. Okay, it's level 3. Looks like some amoebas attacking me or something like that. This level has different colors to it, which is cool. They change up the palette to more of a bluey gray here. Oh, looks like some, looks like trilobites or something, and look like nautilus. Oh yeah, those are really annoying. They break up into smaller ones that kill you all the time. Or they make you run into other ones like that. This level, I think you're supposed to be in the stomach. The first level, you're like entering the mouth. Then the second level, you're going down the esophagus. This one, I think you're in like the stomach. They're all like, most of the bad guys are aquatic themed. Here we're coming up to the first, the mini boss here. This mini boss is pretty simple, but there's a lot of projectiles. I didn't want to show you the whole thing, let you figure it out yourself. Second half of the level, more of the same guys. The background changes again. I'm not sure what. I think that's a stomach lining on the side, but it looks cool with blue and red. High contrast there. This is the second best weapon. This is the best one I found in the side scroller. I said the other one was the second best, but it's the second best in the side scroller. I don't know if this is supposed to be the big laser from the side view or something, but it doesn't have the same sound effects, so I don't think so. And here's the final boss in this level. It's pretty cool. It's got like a big face there, and a kind of eye comes out and shoots projectiles at you. I'll show you. I died, and that's all I'm going to show you. Alright, that was level 3. Pretty decent level. Pretty cool bosses and whatnot. Level 4 now. Okay, this one really kicked my butt. Like, I actually stopped playing the game partway, like paused it, and I went online and I looked, how many levels are there? Like, I was like, is this the last level? You know, it's an old game, an NES game, so you're like, yeah, it could just have 4 levels. But I found that it had 6, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is not the last level, it's going to get harder from here. Wow. So, this level was brutal for me. It was like, I think a third of the gameplay time almost. So it was like 2.5 hours of gameplay on this. I mean, I did it over and over and over, and I was just like, come on. And then when oh man, finally get to the boss the first time, and you're like, well, I'm not going to figure out the pattern on the first time probably, and I didn't. So then you have to go through it again, and you're thinking, okay, I'll get right back there this time. I did not. It took me a while. So this level really kicked my butt. And this is also when I realized, like, I hadn't really paid attention to the title screen. And I was like, am I getting my butt kicked by Milton Bradley? It's like, no way. The board game company is just kicking my butt at this game. And I have more respect for Milton Bradley now. I didn't even know they had anything to do with video games. That's pretty cool. But I was just like, no, come on. But I eventually did power through and beat it. And had my mini celebration, you know. It was a very enjoyable level, but it was tough. Like, if you're a beginner on shooters, do not start with this game, because you're going to be like, unless you're like me, I'm just like extremely determined and stubborn to beat the game, you're just going to quit. Or you're going to go online and figure out, oh, there's an invincibility code, and just fly through the game. But if you actually want to beat this game for real, practice up on some other easier shooters first, and then jump into this one, and you'll enjoy yourself. Like, I think so. I did, and and like I said, I got my butt kicked multiple times. What really annoyed me though was I actually found this video online by accident. I wasn't even looking for it. And this guy beat the whole game without dying one time. It took him like 20 some odd minutes, like 23, 24 minutes to beat the game, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, this guy must have played for it. If that was his first run through, that guy's a Jedi, like, or a ninja. Like, there's no way. That guy must have played this game since he was a kid and just like, yeah, I memorized every little move. But I was amazed. I was like, no way he beat it in 20 some odd minutes. I actually like skimmed through the video. I didn't watch the whole thing, but sure enough, he beats it. I'm like, damn. So, anyway, let's go check out some footage. Okay, this level you're like going through the intestines, I believe. Those orbs are annoying. We'll talk more about them later. These seem to be like white blood cells attacking. I'm not sure what those things are. Those are like little crabs. Different bad guys in most levels. Pretty good. With those little crab arms there. Still aquatic theme, so that's why I believe you're in the digestive systems. I think, well, the whole game you are. Oh yeah, oh, so you can get this weapon. This is a mini-boss. You can get this weapon in this vertical scrolling one, so it's not the same as the laser and the side scroller. So I don't know, maybe it's just not available, or I never found it. This boss is actually not that easy, but with 2 orbs, a shield, and this weapon, I'm going to take him out pretty quick. But if you get here with the Pea Shooter, you're going to be in for some trouble. And, he's pretty cool, little eyes like a crab, and he's got a mouth that switches back and forth. If he switches the mouth, he's going to come up and try and bite you. Pretty standard boss, but again, a lot more difficult if you don't have the power-ups. So always get the power-ups if you can get the power-ups. There you go, took him out. Not so bad. This part is leading up to the boss. And at first I was like, oh, it's the boss, because the music stops and everything, and then I saw this, I was like, oh, maybe it's not, maybe it's just an extended part of the level. I'm not going to show you the end part of this level, so you can experience this boss on your own. But this level killed me the most. Like, I died a lot more times than I showed. It was a brutal, brutal, brutal level. And there I go, that's all I'm going to show. Alright, that was level 4. Let's check out some level 5 footage in a minute. Level 5 is kind of cool. It's the hardest of the side-scrolling levels. It's the last one, so obviously it's going to be the hardest, and it's cool. This is where it switches from biologically themed to you're inside the ship that the parasite is swallowed, where the princess is. So you're going through the ship. And as you move through the level, you'll see like the ship is getting rustier, so it looks like it's being digested in the system. So it actually brings more of a feel of like this is time sensitive. We got to save this princess type thing, which is pretty cool for an NES game. I mean, this game looks great. I think for an NES game, I really thought it was done well. So let's go check out level 5 and. Oh yeah, before we do that, there's the one thing that really, really annoyed me on this level, but was actually kind of cool, is they have like dead ends. So you'll have like a power-up, but it'll be in a dead end, be like, well, enter at your own risk, right? You better be able to get back out of here before the screen auto-scrolls past the entrance, or you're going to die. And I did. And some of the controls in this level, like, they're extremely sensitive. Like, you have to get into real tight spaces, like, right beside a monster. Don't touch it, but you got to get, like, right there. And it took some really good hand-eye coordination and patience to beat this level. But it was super fun, so let's check it out. Okay, here's level 5. This is where you enter the ship that the princess is in. Those little red guys at the bottom, I think that's the guys on the cover art on the North American version. But this is like the ship's security system, mixed with a few biological things. Oh, you're gonna see me die here, dead end. Yeah. These orbs are really annoying. That guy that comes out of them, I call him the face hugger. He just holds you. You can't go any higher up on the screen than that. It's the same thing in the vertical scrolling levels. It just holds you to a certain spot and drags you down. Thought I was going to die right here, but somehow I got past this platform. But those guys are the most annoying bad guys in the game. I hate them. Basically, you're dead. Second half, see the ship is starting to rust here. It's pretty cool. I didn't show the mini-boss because I want to save some stuff for you guys to discover on your own. Those lasers are really annoying. This part here I did wrong, actually, right there. I shouldn't have got through. I don't know how I did. Yeah, this is really precise movement in these parts. You have to get like right next to some of these bad guys and not get hit by any projectiles or anything. Here's the end boss. I'm not going to show the whole thing, just the ship's main security, I think. And he's going to kill me right away. Alright, that was level 5. Next up, level 6, obviously. Now, I probably won't do this for most games, like playing through and showing you each level individually with like a decent amount of gameplay footage, because I don't want to have complete spoilers and everything. Like, that's why I didn't show how to beat all the bosses and mini bosses. Like, I showed a couple, but I just want like newer people who've never played the game like me to not feel like this is giving away the entire game. But the reason I showed so much this time is because I wanted you to know how hard it was. Like, this was ridiculously hard. Again, but this last level was I spent probably the second most time on this level. Level 5 was close to this one, but this one had a bit more. And on the boss, I had no idea what to do at first. It throws a lot of stuff at you, and I was just shooting. I could hear the sound that told me I was hitting the right spot, but I died like a second after I figured out what I was shooting that I was supposed to be. So, yeah. So then I went back, had to do it all again, and you need reflexes like crazy for this level. There is stuff flying everywhere, and there are also these. There's lots of stuff flying around that isn't going to hit you right away, but it blocks your view of some of the other projectiles, and like you'll be going, what hit me? I died. I like, a lot of times I'm like, what killed me? I have no idea how I just died. And it was only later when I was going through the gameplay footage where I was like, oh, that's what killed me. Okay, yeah, I see it now. So you're gonna experience that, and get the power-ups. Get them. Every one you can in this level. If you don't get the power-ups, you are going to die horribly a lot. You probably will anyway, but you'll die more without them. So let's go check out the final stage of Abadox for NES. First part of level 6. Now you're flying down some kind of corridor in the ship. These guys on the side walls are really annoying, and you're going to see after I get through this first room, there are these like phoenix type things that start forming, and if you fire near them, they'll explode and send these flames everywhere that start chasing you around, and they really make it hard to see the rest of the projectiles on the screen because you're trying to... Oh, facehugger got me again. See, died right away. You just got barely see the phoenix there. Oh, another one. These guys are so annoying. I mean, you might as well just kill yourself once you... Yeah, see all that stuff flying around? Like, I can't even tell what's hitting me, what's not. Yeah, I'm dead. Here, more. Oh, I finally got through that part. I was so happy when I finally got through it, and I'm like, oh my god, because that part was so hard. I died. That was probably the second most deaths I had in this game on that part. This part's not so bad, you just gotta watch out for the lasers. Boom. I got hit by one, obviously. Alright. You're gonna see me finally get through this part here. And like, you're super tense when you get this far, because it's difficult, like I said. I'm concentrating on those lasers, and I'm like, oh my god, what's next? Bam! I didn't notice that the hydraulics came in. Okay, so I got by the hydraulics. Here's the mini boss for this level. I got like pretty good setup here. This guy is a pretty simple pattern and whatnot, but without the power-ups it's difficult because these things go to the side and come in at you from all directions, or both directions. Just shoot those eyes out. I'm not going to show the whole thing. You guys can figure it out on your own. The second half now, I died a lot on this part too, so this level probably took me, I don't even know how long, but quite a while. There's some tricks, like certain power-ups, if you get them, you're going to miss the one you really need. Here's the boss, first time I got to him, very first time, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that comes out and like hits me. I didn't even know what I was supposed to be shooting at. I only figured it out right before I died when I heard the sounds. I just couldn't, I was like, oh, what am I hitting that I'm supposed to be hitting? I figured it out, and then I was dead, like right now. show you this clip of saving the princess. And as you can see in the NES version, she is fully clothed. Alright, we beat the game. Oh wait, what? There's more? Yeah, that's right. I went online, like I said before, and looked. 6 levels. But that's not exactly true. There is level 7. But it's not a shoot 'em up level. So technically, the shoot 'em ups, there are 6 levels. But in this level, you're just escaping from the big monster before it gets destroyed. So it's top down. It's different. It's top down, but it's horizontally scrolling. Your sprite is a bit bigger, and for some reason you have a blue visor now instead of yellow. Like in the rest of the game, your whole suit, everything's yellow, but in this one's blue. Maybe it's because there's more detail. I don't know. It didn't really matter. I just noticed it. So anyway, you get like 4 or 5 speed boosts. I can't remember if it's 4 or 5 speed boosts right at the start of the game, or the level, power-ups. And then you just start flying. Like, there's a lot of obstacles in the way, and there's these little tiny doors that you have to go through, like little openings in the walls and stuff. And you got to be concentrating, and your reflexes are going to be tested here. But it didn't take me that long, like 10 minutes. But that's still 10 minutes or so was quite a few playthroughs of this level, because you could die pretty quick, and then you're right back at it. It doesn't take long to get into it. It's like pick up the power-ups and away you go. And I was very surprised at the scrolling speed of the level for the NES. Like it was kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog speed. I mean, not all the detail and movement and everything. Pretty much you're going in a straight line, just avoiding some obstacles, but still impressive for the NES. I didn't know it could scroll that quickly and not look terrible. So, and didn't have any slowdown that level. So that was really cool. And then you finally beat it and you get out and you're like, is this actually the end now? And yes it is. This is the end. So level 7, there's actually 7 levels for all you people online who post, oh, 6 levels. No, there are 7. But the 7th level is really much easier than the rest of the game. It's kind of fun, and changes things up a bit. And then you escape from the monster and you get to see it get destroyed and all that. So let's go check out some quick footage of level 7. Okay, I'm just going to show you me dying in this level quick. This is changing from the rest of the game. This is just you escaping from the parasitous monster. It speeds up pretty quick though, so you got to be ready. The reflexes count here, and it gets progressively faster as you're going through. And you'll see soon I just wipe out. And that's the clip. Here are just a bit of the end credits to show that, hey, I did beat the game, and to show off a little bit more of the cool music of the game. That was Abadox for the NES. Pretty decent experience, I gotta say. Alright, so that's all the gameplay footage for Abadox on the NES. I let the credits roll there at the end. I didn't show the end video because I figure you can beat it yourself and go see that. I definitely recommend playing this game. It's a good game. Like, I wouldn't say it's like one of the best games on the NES, but it's close. I really enjoyed it, and like I said, I'm not a shooter guy. It looks good. It sounds really good. And the difficulty is jacked way up. So if you don't like difficulty being that high, you can play it on invincibility mode, just experience the game. Like, look up the code online that you type in at the end, at the start of the game. But I would recommend playing through it because you get this sense of accomplishment. Like I mentioned before, I celebrated after every level. When I finally beat the game, I was just like, yeah! Like, ah! And, that's a feeling a game should give you when you're done. Like, that's a sense of accomplishment, that you got something done that's actually quite difficult to do. I don't know. I just enjoyed it a lot. Other than, so graphically, it's pretty good. I wouldn't say great just because of the flicker and the slowdown. Like, the flicker was pretty bad in some levels, but that's standard for the NES, like I said before. And you know, it is what it is. Back then, people who played NES, we got used to it, and it didn't really even bother you anymore unless it was just stupidly bad. Um, the slowdown only really happened at a few of the bosses where there's just too much stuff happening on screen, and it wasn't that bad really. It was just momentary. But overall, really good game. Uh, I might actually have to add this one to the ones I want to get for my collection. Like my collection right now, I only have very few games in box. For one, actually, I'll show it in the next game because it happens to be the game I'm reviewing. But I want to get a collection going of games in box. Now, some of them I'm not going to get because they're just way too expensive. Like, I'm not spending more than $100 on a game unless it's like my favorite game, and even then, we'll see. I might have to get a few loose copies, but this one I never played before, so I never owned a copy of this before, and yeah, it's good enough that I want to pick up probably an in-box copy if they're not too much. So hopefully that tells you how good the game was. And like I said, just to reiterate, do not pick this game up as like getting back in the shooters or starting in the shooters in the first place, because you're going to have probably a pretty rough experience and you might not like the game as much then. So maybe play a few other ones that aren't so hard and then jump into this one. All right? That's all for this episode. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching, and you know, give me some comments or like or subscribe or whatever. And yeah, we'll see you again on episode 2. Thanks for watching my premiere episode. It's really awesome when you guys do that.